Welcome to another video on how I'm building my custom quadcopter. As you can see, I've already taken a couple steps. Couldn't really control myself. Really wanted to see how this was going to look like. But I did save one of them so that way I can do the video for it, which all it is showing how I took that elbow there and actually mounted the engines and the propellers to the motors themselves, which I've already went through and did all the pieces for it. This here is just your basic 1-inch elbow, like in the previous video. I've already pre-drilled the holes. These ones here will be for the main support rod right here, and this one will hold on this bracket, which this bracket is just basic wire hanging material. A lot of people use it to hang ductwork in their house. I use this because this center hole right here will sit perfectly around the outside part of this engine, so it'll help hold it in place. Plus it's real easy to use, real easily bendable, really strong, and it's kind of cheap. You can get it in like big 50-foot rolls for very little. This is just a basic bottle cap that I've taken off of Pepsi's, Dr. Pepper's. I have 2 blues and 2 yellows because each one of these have to go a certain direction, where that one and this one here have to be one direction, and that one have to go a different direction. Because if they don't, your helicopter will just spin in circles and it really won't go anywhere. So it has to have one north, one south, so that way it'll help balance itself out. As you can see, I've cut a small little triangle in it. It's actually going to sit on in the elbow like that, so that way I can feed wires up through it and it's not going to block it. All this is pretty much a spacer, so it's going to sit right on the beam like that, and then the engine is going to sit on that. It helps push it up to where it's right at the top of this piece of the elbow. And it's just basic standard screws that are actually going to hold them in. These ones going to be the one that hold the bracket onto here. And this is a 2-inch number 6 screw and nut. It'll go here. It's actually what holds the elbow onto the frame itself. And this is the propeller. I found these on eBay. It's a set of 2. It comes with one clockwise and one counterclockwise rotation blades on them. On the actual propeller itself, I've drilled 2 holes using a drill press, so that way they're going to be level. These will actually push up against the motor shaft to hold it in place, which I should have got one that was a little bit closer to its size, but I had already bought them, so I'm going to make them work. I don't know if it's going to be able to see, but you can't just put them on there with a basic round shaft. What I did was I took a pair of these needle nose pliers. I leveled it off on the motor like so, and then I took a file to 2 sides and I filed them down flat, so it would create like a groove for the screws to push up against, so that way it wouldn't just be spinning and spinning and you strip out the shaft of the motor. But this here is all the pieces needed to create this part here, and I'm going to put it together now. As you can see, I've already put the elbow onto the frame of the quadcopter. This is the Pepsi bottle cap spacer, and this is showing why I cut the wires, or cut the triangle. Use this file to show you. I'm going to be using that opening as a means of being able to put a wire or several through, so that way I can actually run the motor. If I didn't cut that like that, I wouldn't be able to do that, period. but I'm also thinking about putting some some high intensity LEDs on the bottom, so that way it'll kind of help me be able to see which is forwards and backwards. But let's put the motor on. And here I have a fully completed motor assembly. I've got everything already assembled on it. Let's see, as you can see, this is how I'm just putting on the brackets on them. These screws actually have two different purposes. One is to hold the main bracket on, and two, it actually is pushing up against the motor on the inside, so then that way it helps hold it in place too. And let's see, as you can see, this is how I was meaning. I've got the two screws coming in from both sides, and they're pushing up against the pieces of the shaft that I had flattened with this file. Like I said, I just put it up against needle nose pliers and I just scraped it until it gave me a flat surface. Be careful, or you will end up stabbing yourself. But you're going to want them to move freely. If it's not moving freely, then that means it's going to be rubbing against something, which means it's going to decrease the life of either the engine or the propeller itself. But as you can see, all of these spin very easily. And let's see. So the frame and the engine mount part of this is complete. I might make one more video of it on how I'm going to actually put the landing brackets. I've got 4 actually door stops that I'm going to put on each one of the frames, so that way it has something to sit up against. And they're going to have like 3 inches on them, 3 inches of clearance, so that way it'll give me enough space to actually put a battery on the bottom of it. That'll probably be the last one I make for a while until I get the circuit board fully made. I don't know if I'll be able to show a video on how, but as soon as I get the video done, I will post it on YouTube. This is one of many things to come. If you like them, subscribe, like. Thanks for watching.